What is up, everybody? Ace here, and I'm back on the JFS up here in my base. And I've been doing a lot of moving and a lot of work over here. As you can see, I've been carving out this area, all in this space, where we had this cave kind of getting in the way. You can see it continues up until about that point there, so I'm going to try to trim down as much as I can in that aspect, including this section most notably. But in the meantime, I've been moving this stuff here, all this cobble, and so we're going to do that while I update on things that have been going on. So we're just going to get rid of some stuff so we can make some space. I'm actually going to keep one of these in exchange for that. So I recorded an episode, but I don't think I'm going to make use of it. But I wanted to update on what's been going on lately. But with classes and work and money, the whole mess that everything has been. So let's talk about UHC 23 first. I believe episode 4 should come out. Should be out by now. Matter of fact, it will be. And I died. Very disappointing. Do I want to go into detail about that? Probably not. I got enough to talk about already. But I'll have an episode on my thoughts on that when all the episodes come out. So stay tuned for that. But as you could probably tell in that episode, I was not happy. So, but let's see. What else is going on? I have a spot in my throat, the back of my throat, that feels like there's a cut or something right there, and every time I swallow, it feels like just hurts, like a stinging pain. It doesn't feel like there's anything stuck back there. It just feels like there's a cut or something. So must have eaten some glass or something, or I don't know what it is. But let's talk about my classes. So I finished my third class, my first actual film-centric class, and it was kind of lackluster. That's kind of the theme for these classes lately, is that they're not really interesting, I'm not really learning anything, and I don't have to really put much effort into these classes to pass them. Which is really disappointing. As a side note, I haven't really mentioned the chest, but cobblestone's here. We have smooth stone here, and then this is like, I think this is empty, but we got diorite, dirt, granite, stone, andesite, gunpowder, gravel. So I'm going to stretch it all along that way as far as I can go. And as you can see, cobble is well into the lead in terms of how many chests it takes to set it up. And I set up a little rail system over there so I can get to the final cobble chest faster if I need to. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing with my classes. I'm passing them all, which is good, which means I'll have some sort of degree after 2 years. But yeah, like I haven't bothered with any of the lesson material or the reading material. I just do the activities that I'm supposed to be doing, and I get 100 on them, and that's it. I did get kind of lazy with this most recent class because there were parts of it where they wanted me to respond to my peers and what they've done, and not only was I too lazy to do it, but I also wasn't interested in any of the materials for my own project, so I just kind of threw something together. So if I wasn't interested in my own stuff, how am I going to be interested in someone else's? so I neglected to do that part. But even then, I still passed no problem. So right now, I'm taking a class that I actually feel like I'm doing something with, and that's English composition, which is not a class that I enjoy to start with, but it's a class that actually feels like a class. And creative presentation, which was my first class, definitely felt like something that I had to work on and improve with. And the rest of the class, I just kind of did the work, and that was it. But for English comp, I expect to actually have to put effort into this, and so I'm ready to do some essays. So it's going to be kind of extra tricky because, to segue, I have a second job now. So yeah, my first job is not paying the bills on its own, so got myself another one. And things have been kind of up and down monetarily, but for a second job, it's going to be interesting. I've already started. I've completed about a week's worth of work. I believe I get paid weekly. I'm going to find out tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to, or maybe later tonight, I texted the general managers, or I guess the owners, store owner's wife. It is a mom and pop kind of restaurant, so the owners are an older guy and his wife. So his wife handles the scheduling, but I asked her about whether or not we get paid this Friday, because I believe we get paid weekly. So if that's true, that's actually really good for me right now, because I'm having to stumble off the gate, which is kind of a common theme for when I try to do something new, is I have a stumble out of the gate, because that's what life wants, I guess. Okay. So yeah, I got paid like last Friday from my main job. I was making some payments. I hardly made any money because of my hand and my stitches, and so because of that, I didn't make much money. So I had to split up my rent, and I made the rent through PayPal, like right away, and then I made another payment to a line of credit that I have, and my line of credit ended up doing 2 payments instead of 1, which basically screwed everything over, because basically it happened, on that Friday. So the schedule. So even if I call for a refund, which I did, and they issued it, even if I call for a refund, I still gotta wait for the end of the weekend, because refunds only process through business days, and by that time, rent's going to be pulled out, and the business day period begins after the weekend, so I still have to wait a few days, and that meant my bank account got overdrawn, and pretty seriously overdrawn by the end of it, because I had that, and another small payment I had to make, and then I was going to try to move the money for that small payment onto PayPal before my account got overdrawn, but it ended up happening afterwards, so the money left my account, and then I got hit with an overdraft fee for that as well, and so now I'm moving the money back into my checking account to try to cover up the hole as best I can. So long story short, it's a huge mess. Now, the line of credit I got back, I immediately put that back into my bank account, so I'm doing better than I was, but still not good. And I still have one more thing that is actually going to... I have my car insurance payment that's going to is starting processing today as I'm recording this. Excuse me. And I believe, because today's Thursday, it might not finish processing till Monday. So I'll have a few days to figure out what to do, but tomorrow I intend to go out and get my paycheck, and then the majority of that paycheck is going to fill in the hole I've made, and then the rest of it's going to go into my car insurance, and then I have like a few bucks that I'm pulling out of my savings account that's going to go into my gas tank, and I might even I'm considering putting more into my gas tank to ensure that I can actually make it through the next week, which would mean my account would be overdrawn more, but I would be able to get to work. But that would also hurt my paycheck for next week. It's all a bit of a mess. Long story short, I almost had to change my schedule around for this week because I did not have the gas to work the 4 days I had for my second job, and then also come in on Friday to pick up my paycheck. But I had some extra money on my third credit card, so that's maxed out now, which I'll explain a little bit more in a second. So, but yeah, it's been a big mess. So yeah, this paycheck is going to be either it's going to be a net, like, if there's any sort of gain, it's going to be less than $1, because any dollar amount that I pick up is going into my gas tank or into my car insurance. And then next week I have paychecks, assuming that we're doing the weekly thing, of course. Next week I'm going to have paychecks for both jobs, in which I will have more money than what I usually get, but I still have to pay the other half of my rent, so by the end of it, my net gain is going to be like less than $30. But my credit card, one of my credit cards is going to have some money on it, so if I need to, there will be some extra cash there, cash, quote unquote. But then after that is when things should start turning around, like, big time, because the next paycheck, next single paycheck, I don't think has anything going towards it besides gas. So 2 weeks from the 4th, or the 4th, I will be able to start saving up some money and preparing to turn things around. Which is good. So it's going to take a couple weeks to get things settled down. And of course, all of this is dependent on how much I get paid at both jobs. My main job is really annoying because, like, last week I worked 31 hours, and then this week I'm scheduled for 25. And then the couple weeks before that, I had 19 hours each, so, you know, I'm not sure how much I'm going to make each week. And for my new job, I'm not sure if they're going to keep me at my current hours either, or if they're going to give me more or less. They can only give me so much because of my other job, but it's still really annoying. But yeah, as long as I can weather the storm for the next couple weeks, it should be fine. And the benefit of working at restaurants is that I don't have to worry about food as much, because I can just, especially with the main job I have, my first job, I can take some food home with me. The only downside is that I work Friday through Monday, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I still have to figure out what to eat, because my current job, or my second job, they don't do free meals, they do half-off meals, which I guess is fair for a local restaurant, but it means I can't buy anything there for a couple weeks, so maybe I can, like, snag a couple fries on the way home. It sounds kind of weird because I live with roommates, but I'm not really allowed to eat their food anymore. There used to be a time when I first moved in where I had, like, free reign with the fridge and everything. I could, you know, and I tried to, like, try to make sure that I didn't eat any of their food that they wanted to eat. I gave plenty of time when I saw something I wanted but wasn't sure if I could have, and things like that. So I was responsible with the whole food thing, at least in my opinion. But over time, especially when we got the other roommate who has moved out, I don't know if I had mentioned that, but the other roommate I have has moved out. So it's just the three of us again. But I think him coming in, we originally still had that same rule set, and that might have messed things up. And so they've locked things down. Like, it used to be that we would share, like, cleaning supplies and stuff too, but that closet door is actually locked now. So I'm not allowed to get cleaning supplies or we're not sharing cleaning supplies, so that's kind of annoying. But then again, I don't know, it's whatever. It definitely doesn't help me, but it's all gonna work out. They do cook and share what they cook at times. Or I should say, they cook at times, and when they do, they share what they cook. That's what I mean by that. It's just not every single day. So, smooth stone's going here. So yeah, there's a lot of not good stuff, but there are a few good things that have happened. You know, the second job is one thing, but I did manage to pay off one of my debt collectors, which was at the sacrifice of my third credit card, which is why it's maxed out already. I actually did 3 things with it, which is the debt collector, the gas tank, gas stuff, and then I think I bought some Wendy's too, but that was like a small purchase. And I also paid my phone bill because I felt like I needed that if I wanted to keep this job thing going. So the good news is that the third credit card has the lowest credit limit, which sounds counterintuitive to be happy about, but it means it's easy to pay off. Yeah, I got one debt collector taken care of, so that'll boost my credit. So my plans right now is, first off, I would like to try to get a different primary job, preferably one that pays more. There are a couple places I've applied to and kind of didn't follow up on, so I'm not really sure if I should come back to them and be like, hey, about that, or if I should just kind of let that go. I did get an offer for an interview from one place that I should do a little bit of research on to remind myself if it's worth taking. Because all I know is that they were they were hiring. I don't remember how much they want to pay their employees, but yeah, I would like to get something that pays a little bit more. That way I could take a part-time job and maybe work a little bit less in terms of hours while still making the same amount or more compared to the one I currently have, and hopefully I would enjoy it more. I definitely enjoyed my new job quite a bit. It's easy money. I'm a prep cook, so I just cook being the loose term. So I show up and I cut some things, cut some veggies and such, and that's it. Like, I cut, slice, chop, shred meats and veggies. That's about it. Today I made home-style potatoes or home-style fries, shredded carrots. I portioned some ham and turkey, and then I cut up some peppers. So, that's it. That's all I did today, and that's all I've done all week. And for some people, it's like, wow, that's really boring, but that's easy money for me. You know, show up, do some monotonous stuff, you know, go home, get paid at the end of the week. Easy stuff. So, perfectly fine with that. So, the good thing about potentially switching up a new primary job is that the hours that I would be available to do such a thing are the hours that places that are hiring want the most, which are nights and weekends. So, because this primary job that I have, I work, like I said, Friday night, usually double Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday night. So, except I'm not working a double on Saturday. So, like, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So, I'll have to see what I decide to do with that. About 22 minutes, and we got, like, a few chests left. I really hope this all works out. My intention is to work 2 jobs, at least through January, because I'm supposed to get film equipment from my classes in December, which I assume is when things are really going to start taking off. And by that time, I'm going to need to I'm going to need to put some more focus on my classwork, I think. But at that time, I'm kind of hoping that I can, you know, afford to only work 1 job. So, if I can get a primary job that pays more, then I could drop my second one and go full-time at the first one, which should, you know, be a net gain. Not net gain, it shouldn't be that big of a loss, is what I mean. So, we'll have to see. Let's see, for my debt clearing, I actually made a list of things, list of debts that I need to clear. I'm not going to go over the exact amounts. Yeah, that's it. So, the debts I need to clear. I just had a lag spike there. I think they tally up to about... do I want to say it? Let's say it's a lot. About as much as probably a full-size pickup truck worth of debt. So yeah, right around that much. Not like top tier, but you know, right around there. Almost more than 3 of my own cars, more than 3 of my Kias. So, but, oops, that was kind of weird. But yeah, so I paid off one of my debt collectors, which was the cheapest one. I have another one with T-Mobile, which I'm going to do a little later. It's probably going to be a November thing, because my primary focus now is going to be catching up on rent, because I still owe first month's rent from when I first moved here. So that's going to be next on my list. And then I want to take out the next debt collector, or I'm going to try to take care of the line of credit that I opened up. I'm not sure if I can just straight up close it, but I definitely at least want to pay it off. And if I'm able to do that, that'll be one less thing to worry about. But yeah, I would like to take care of the line of credit and my other debt collector, and then I'm going to start paying off credit cards. So it's going to be rent, line of credit, second debt collector, and then my credit cards, probably in order from cheapest to most expensive, or smallest to largest line of credit amount. That should take me into January, I believe. And that's all the small stuff. The rest of it is like my car payment and, well, my one of my credit cards is pretty high, but if I could take care of like a bit of that, it would be great. It'd also be nice to bring my car payments current instead of falling behind, instead of still being behind. I'm starting to feel like the threat they gave me to repossess my car was kind of empty. Because I'm pretty sure I made a partial payment or a late payment recently. Oh no, it was the payment that bounced and then went through and then they tried to send it again. That mess. I figured that would be the moment where they'd be like, alright, let's take his car, but they have not yet. Oops. So, who knows? Are they going to do it or not? I think it's like if it gets past a certain point, they might, send me a notice about it. So, the fact that it's not quite at that point yet is when I say point, I mean like a certain amount that I would owe. But yeah, I think keeping 2 jobs into January will take care of a few of these things. Definitely will take care of rent, my other debt collector, and my line of credit. Maybe my cheapest credit card. But I'll have to see how I feel when January comes around. Maybe I'll keep them both for a little bit longer just so I can clear up all the small stuff. And it would be nice to be able to take care of a lot of that. Alright, we are almost done here. I think we got like 2, maybe 3 trips left. And we're reaching 30 minutes. Which is actually longer than the last recording I made, because, yeah, it was, that one I breezed through the stuff that was going on, because there was less going on, and then I got lost, because I left the end and realized I hadn't slept hadn't slept at my base bed, and so I ended up back at the village. And I had a bit of an adventure on the way back. And then I left my pick in one of the chests in a shipwreck, so I had to go all the way back to find that shipwreck. Turned out to be the first one that I ran into, so I had to go all the way back and find it. And then I found some other stuff along the way back. So I'm a little bit richer than I was before. Okay, so we should need just one more trip. Then we can end the video off here. But yes, I am excited, or optimistic, I guess. Hopefully all of this works out and I will be able to, start paying stuff off. Let's see, one of my intentions, while I have 2 jobs, regardless of where I'm working, is I would like to make sure that every so often I give myself... Oh, that's annoying. Hang on, I'll fix this. Just come up here. Oh, that's also annoying. Yeah. I'll just have to come back and get that. Oop. And I can knock this down. Last bit of cobble. So these are torches. This is coal. That's all going to stay there for now. But we are done here. We have moved everything down to this, probably roughly the halfway point, maybe a little bit past it. No, maybe not quite. There we go. And I'm actually going to get rid of this block. And I guess I'll put a chest there for now. That way when I ride in, I'll get stopped there. And I'll just put this here for the moment. Alright, so yeah, that'll do for this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching. And I shall see you all next time.